Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening.
Welcome to Rick and Dave's Comic Book Hour.
Merry Christmas, and we're back with a new issue. I'm Rick.
I'm Dave.
And welcome to the Rick and Dave's Comic Book Hour. We're doing another retro review issue, and this time we're not going to do a run, but we're going to do a single issue. And we're going to start off with Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, number 9. He's going to battle Dr. Doom. So, this is probably one of the most wacky things I've ever read in a while. Luke Cage wants to chase down Dr. Doom because he owes him money. Think about this. Dr. Doom owes you money, and you're going to go chase after him. So how are you going to do this? Well, of course, you're going to break into the Fantastic Four Baxter building, start a fight there for a while, before he talks Mr. Fantastic Four, and can explain to him that, hey, I just need your help to get to Latveria so I can get my money back from Dr. Doom. And Mr. Fantastic, he's all for this. Hey, this is great. We're going to give you a rocket. And I'm going to program it to take you there. So, no questions asked. He gets a rocket to go to Latveria, finds Dr. Doom. Of course, Dr. Doom has sensors ready to go. If any Fantastic Four equipment comes through to his island, it sets off an alarm. What? Yeah, his space. His airspace. So then they all think it's a Fantastic Four coming. It's just Luke Cage, of course. But they think he thinks the Fantastic Four are coming to kick his butt again. So they shoot him down. And Luke Cage meets some people that are trying to get a revolt against Dr. Doom because they're slaves and all this good stuff. But Luke Cage doesn't care. He wants his money, but he hangs out with them for a while anyway because they can get him to the castle. But long story short, he battles he beats up with Dr. Doom, and Dr. Doom goes, "Why are you here?" He goes, "I want my money." And Dr.'s like, "What? You're here for your money? That's just $200. You know that, back in the day, Luke Cage charged $200 a day, just like Jim Rockford. So the revolt finally hits the castle, and Dr. Doom is going to die. And Luke Cage saves Dr. Doom because he can't just let him die. He goes, "No, I can't let him die. I got to save him." That's not his style. And he holds off the revolt a little bit, and out of gratitude, Dr. Doom gives Luke Cage his $200 and says, "Don't come back." So basically that's it. It's a nice little story. Mr. Fantastic doesn't know him that well, but still gives him a rocket to go off to...
Yeah, I don't know if Luke was a member of the FF.
No, they didn't know him because they didn't know anything about him. He broke into the Baxter building. So they thought he was a villain, and they're beating on his butt. And then when he tells him that he's Luke Cage, Reed Richards goes, "Oh yeah, so I can't remember who, but so and so told me about you, and you're kind of all right. So yeah, you're." Well, Ben's still mad, even though when Ben gets bad. Oh yeah, because Ben wants to know the end of the story, how the story ends, and Luke wouldn't tell him. So Ben's still pissed. That makes him even more mad because Luke wouldn't tell him how the story ended, if he got his money back or anything. So if you see this book in a bin like I did for $1 or so, go ahead and buy it. It's a fun little read from the Bronze Age, and I recommend it.
Alrighty. Well, my story I chose is Thor issue 256. And I've been picking up some oddball Thors here and there, and sat down one night and read this one, and it's pretty cool. It takes Thor, gives him the cosmic, I don't know, more. He's just not on Earth. He's out in space, and he's flying around on this Viking sailing ship, him and his buddies, and it's like they're out in space and there's nothing around them. So I don't know what kind of magic they got going on there to keep them from suffocating out in space, or that they're gods and they can just survive it, or what. But anyway, it's kind of cool. And they come across a what they find out to be called a world ship, and these people have been living on this spaceship for generations and generations, and something happened. And
is that a Kirby book?
This one, no. Len Wein and John Buscema,
Good artist.
The artist and the writer on this issue. And so anyway, they come across this spaceship and they find out that people are very destitute and living poorly and everything, and here there's some sort of monster that's been taking over the ship, and he keeps stealing and assumingly killing and eating the old and weak and that sort of thing. So of course Thor and his buddies, they decide to help out, and of course Lady Sif happens to get hurt during this, and so they got to figure out a way to save her, and so for a warrior, you know, I don't know, I guess maybe it's the era when they were writing this stuff, and female's always the damsel in the distress, kind of like Invisible Girl for years was always a damsel in distress.
Yeah. When
she really didn't need to be, but
yeah.
Anyway, so something happens to her, and they have to figure out what's going on, and unfortunately by the end of this issue, Sif just gets wrapped up and sucked in behind this big door, and Thor, he has to go after her. So that we're kind of left with a cliffhanger at the end of this book. So I haven't gotten 257 to see how it turns out yet, but when I do, I'll let you know how it goes. But I just like the art's really well done. I mean, you got John Buscema doing it, and just the idea of them flying around in space, encountering aliens and different things like that, as opposed to battling, you know, the Wrecking Crew or something like that. And I think that's just pretty cool. So you got the Warriors 3 hanging out with him and all that. So, and the art's pretty cool too. And the writing's well done, I thought. So that's a pretty neat era of Thor stories here. I've gotten some scattered issues in and around this, and they're pretty neat to read. So, and I guess the monster's name is Spore. So anyway, so here's some retro comics for you to maybe think about getting if you come across them at a show. Some of these old Thors in the 200s are pretty fun to read, and if you like some Hero for Hire, those are pretty fun. So you get some Luke Cage and some 1970s attitude and all that kind of thing going on there. So, oh, I think that's it, right?
That's right.
Alrighty, well, thanks for watching.
Talk to you later.
Bye.